everyone, this is Diane and we are doing a Christmas in July hop, and this is hosted by Leslie and Beck, and I will list them in the title, and all the women that are in the hop, which are 15 of us, I will put in the basement and link them to their YouTube channel so you can go and follow them. The girls are Beck, Leslie, there's actually two Leslies, Tiffany, Denise, Debbie, Catherine, Sandra, Lisa, Bethany, Christina, Drinda, Jennie, and Zara. I think that's how you spell or pronounce her name, Zara. So be sure to follow each one of us, and we are going to have each week we're going to do something. This week is cards, so I'm going to concentrate on cards. I am going to do something a little differently. I'm going to show you how I kind of make my cards, the things I use, the tricks I use, and things like that. For Christmas cards, I like using these plates here. These are just full die cut plates. I run them back and forth in my Big Shot like 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Make sure all the cuts are done. You can, if you want to make your life a little easier, is I use parchment paper like this, and it does come out really nice. You put this on top of the parchment paper, and then your cards on the bottom. Your paper, I mean, not cards. Sorry if I say the wrong words. And my trick to making inexpensive, nice looking cards is I buy my poster paper, which is this paper, which is nice and glitter, or the regular shiny. And I get my poster boards at Hobby Lobby, and they're 99 cents. And I don't know, you could probably make, I don't know, 20, 30 if you cut them in. I mean, I don't know. I've never done it, but you can make a boatload. And so for $1, you could get 20 or 30 cards. They also have it in silver. Which is like this. And let me see what the poster board, if they have the size here. It is 22 by 28 inches, so you can divide that into 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But I'm thinking maybe 20. I mean, I haven't counted them out, but I do silver and gold. Silver I would use for this snowflake, and the gold I'm using for this card front here. And for Joy to the World, I have oh no, the blue. I use a blue. Hold on just a moment. Let me get that. This is the blue I use. It's the only color they have. They in this color of blue. So they have silver, blue, pink, and gold. And then on the shiny stuff, they have, this isn't really red, but I use it for something else. This is kind of more of a pinkish, but they do have green. They do have a dark blue, and then they have gold and silver. And like I said, they're 99 cents for a big poster board, and you can get a lot of things, a lot of cards made out of them for inexpensive. All you're doing is just putting in your time. You cut the faces, the card front, put them on your cards like this, and then when you cut your front off, then you're just gluing. So you're just gluing these on just like this. Now for the banner part, I do have this, but on this particular card I don't like it. I don't think it stands out, so I use that on a different card. I do have this, but I don't like the black on this particular one, so I won't use that. But I do like this gold. This is the shiny gold. I think it works out really well for this particular card. And I didn't cut them all out, the card front. So this is the only card I have to show. I'm not going to spend my time gluing it together, but I do want to show you a different tip that I have. This is the dies that I use. This is just a random die I think I bought off of Ali or Temu. This is, I forget which one this went to. It goes to a Christmas set, but I don't remember the name. And this one I kept in the package because I just received this last year. This is from Janet from Photography. Those are the dies that I've used for the sentiments. Of course, we all have. I have all kinds of Christmas dies for sentiments. So on these ones, if you want to, I have a printer that prints off. I just print this off coffee paper. I have digital paper, and so what I do is I take my card, I'm going to put this in here, and if you measure it corner to corner, this card will be approximately 7 inches corner to corner. So if you cut out a piece of paper 8 by 8, which is what I did here, you can make your own envelope, and you just do that by just simply folding it up and over. So, actually you do it around the card front. So, maybe I better use gold so you can see it. So you would just put this right in the center where you would want it. And on these particular ones, like I do want this one on my flap. So I would put that on the top. And you just simply fold it to your card. Now you do give it a little extra space, so it doesn't fit in really tight into the envelope. Just like this. And then you fold this flap down. And that makes an envelope. And then you can just put a label on here, but isn't that pretty? I mean, I don't know if it's not folded all the way down, but okay, there you go. So I take the card out and then I use my bone folder and I give it a really good sharp crease. And it doesn't really matter that your envelope is like even or not even, it really doesn't. And then what I do is I go in and I cut this edge off. Let me get some scissors up. And I just cut it just like this. I glue these edges down only. I don't glue that down because you don't want any glue sticking to your card or the inside of your envelope. And then I just get all the excess glue out. That will dry all clear, so it doesn't really matter. Get your bone folder. I did clean it, but it's gotten dirty again. Okay, and then what I do on these is I take my scissors and I cut. And I cut the edges off so you have an envelope that looks like this. And the reason why I do that is just because it looks better when you're trying to get your card in and out. When they open your envelope, they're just going to open it from the top, so you know it's not going to really matter. And I do glue all my envelopes. I don't waste my tape on this. I do use, when I put my card fronts, I do use tape or I use glue, depending on the paper. Now this one is really thick, so I can use regular liquid glue, and then I can slide it onto my card front exactly where it needs to go. And on this one, you have to use glue because of all the little pieces. That's why I'm not gluing it on now. And this is your envelope. So your card will go right into your envelope. Of course, it's not all glued together, so I probably shouldn't do that part. So right there. And then you fold it over and glue it. Now, I do go an extra step with my envelopes. And this I got from Anne, and I just corner around my I just corner around. Now this one doesn't, it's not showing as big of a, let's see. Usually I do it this way so I can see where I'm going. Okay, so it just looks more, I don't know, finished. So that is how I make my envelopes, and that is how I make my cards. And of course you can use any paper you want to. I just find the gold is just really nice. And like I said, you can get, or silver or whatever color it, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck, right? And that's what it's all about. Now these little fronts that I use, I buy this pack at Hobby Lobby, and their Christmas stuff is usually half off around Christmas time, and you get 100. You get 5 colors, 20 each, 100 pack, and that is what I use to cut out. The paper is sturdy. It's not flimsy, but it's not really as thick as cardstock, and you get so much. You can make 100 cards out of this, and they work really well for these card fronts. You can use whatever color you want. I was going to do green and cut out another card front, but I decided to go another route. I decided to show you something else that I do. So that is that for the card. Now for the second card, I make these 3x3s. And I should have gotten another piece of paper out. Let me get another piece of paper out. So Christmassy will get Christmassy. Okay, so this is the paper I printed out on copy paper, and I used to be able to print these out at work on a laser printer. I don't work anymore at where I used to work, so I can't print them out. But I can print them out on my regular printer. They just don't come out as nice. But I have a whole big stack that I printed out. And where I used to work, the machine was rented, so if you had the paper, you can print as much as you want to out without any cost. And so my boss let me buy a ream of paper, and I would just print a bunch of these out. So what I did on this one to make this 3x3 card is I took a paper out, copy paper. I used Scrap Diva's little 3x3 envelopes. This one comes from Maine, a Pink and Maine set for their 3x3 cards, and so I used this. They're, let's see. The one that goes with it, it has like a ruffle edge like this, and for some reason, it's not a true 3x3. It's like a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, but that one piece, where did it go? Oh, there it is. This one piece goes with this die set for Pink and Maine. So it's really a cool card, but it just won't fit in these envelopes that I'm making. And this one here comes from a Jaded Blossom set, and it fits, even though you can't see the seam, it fits right in there. So it nestles. And so I just keep them with my die. So this is Erica's Scrap Diva's 3x3 envelope, and it does fit a true 3x3 card. And what I did was to use this pattern. I had this pattern paper, and the reason why I use copy paper is because I make an envelope out of it. So I cut the envelope out like this, and then I have enough on the side to cut this right here. And then I have enough to cut a liner out if I want to. Now this pattern paper that I had before, this one, it didn't quite go to the edge, so I didn't have enough, but I had a trick that I do to do that. So I'm going to put these dies back, and if you want to make a 3x3, you can make a 3x3 envelope all yourself. I didn't even fold this up, so this would be actually about 5 1/2, maybe not even 5 1/2, maybe 5 1/4. So this envelope here is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And like I said, I have a die. Now I did get a brand new punch board from Lang, but I don't know how to use it yet. I haven't really had the time yet to try it out. So I think, let's see, card size. It doesn't actually really go down to 3x3 on here. So I don't even see. I don't even see an A2 size on here, but like I said, I haven't worked with it, so I don't know yet. So this is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. This die already cuts it out. You don't have to cut the corners out. You can basically use like how I did on their envelope. This envelope, because I didn't have enough paper, I cut 2 different ones, one on top so I could do this, and then I cut this separate so I can do the liner part, but you're not going to know. And the way I cut this is I cut this so I want this to be the top, because this is going to be hidden, and then I want it just a little bit of this because I think it just looks so cool. So what I'm going to do is I'll flip this one inside instead, so it's like this, instead of normally I would do this. But because I want that pattern paper, I'm going to be doing it this way. And on this die, it cuts all the way up to this line. So what I do is I just take my scissors and cut just 1/8 off of each side so that this folds down just fine. And I do the same thing. I just glue these together. And that's the reason why I use copy paper, is for the envelopes. So here is the piece of paper that I cut from the one die, which is this. And this is the die that I use to cut my matting layer with. And like I said, it just fits really well like this. So there you have it, and it goes like that. Isn't that a pretty flower? So this I will glue right on the card, which is actually a 3x6. So it's 6 this way, 3 this way. And then what I do is I just kind of play around with, I think this is the only piece of paper I have. So I just played around with some that I want. So I'm going to go with Joy. But I cut this out and I didn't like it on that card, but it would also go on this card also. But I'm not going to use it. I am going to just use this Joy. And then you have 3x3s for like gifts and throw-in swaps. This Christmas fits on here too. So that gives you 2 options you can do. You can do an A2 size, or you can do a 3x3 for Christmas. And the other tip that I have for the card fronts like these is not just the wax paper. That really helps get all those tiny pieces out. But if you have something like this, while your paper is still inside your die, then you can go over and it pretty much, it gets, I mean, except for a few pieces like this, but it gets pretty much all of your paper out while it's still in here. So when you peel off your front, most of the papers will be on here. So I hope that's helpful. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And like I said, it doesn't have to be copy paper. It can be any paper you want. I just find that thin paper, you know, you never know what to do with your 12x12s. The paper that's really thin, you know, that's like not really cardstocky. This would be a good way to use them up. Use them as envelopes and card fronts, because it doesn't matter how thick the card front is. This is just regular copy paper. So that's that. I hope this helps you with your Christmas cards and get you a head start, and very inexpensively too, but they don't look inexpensive. That's the nice thing about this, is it doesn't look inexpensive. So, I mean, the whole thing might cost maybe 5 cents to make a card. So, and I know you can buy them very cheaply too, but handmade cards are always really sweet. So, there you go. Thank you for dropping by, and I hope you visit each one in our hut. And may God bless your day. Bye.